Gridiron Grinder! Hut hut hike!
All right, party people. It's Friday night. Gridiron Grinder time. I'm Ryan. With me, as always, my buddy James. Just a couple of dudes hanging out, sipping on some whiskey, talking about what's going on in the NFL each week. So tonight is episode 206 of Gridiron Grinder. We're going to kick things off with Name That Stadium, just like we always do. Then we're going to cover some of the news from this past week. After that, we'll give you guys our week 7 power rankings and game picks. And last but not least, we'll close it off with our question of the week. And so, yeah, with all that being said, how's it going tonight, James?
Man, I'm just glad this week's over. It was a short week at work, 4 days, but still have like 7 days worth of shit to do and didn't finish it, obviously. So, what the fuck can you do?
Uh, yeah, just I guess roll with the punches, man. There's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Working fucking 10, 12 hours a day fucking sucks. So,
Yeah, and somehow amidst all of that, you're traveling internationally, which is nice.
yes, internationally. I
All
got
right,
back
well,
got since you mentioned it, I go different stadiums that host NFL games, and it figured it was a good transition.
yeah.
First person guesses correctly, we'll give you an extra special shout out. Fucking play. Nobody does, and I'm enjoying the travel, but I want some interaction from people. So just fucking interact with us. I mean, hell, you think we're fucking dumb? Tell us that. Like, just
Yeah,
interact.
just to make it abundantly clear, we're asking you to play, which means you go to the comments section for the video and you put your answer in the comments section on YouTube. That's how you play. It's very easy. Very
Very
easy.
easy.
And
Very
I'll give you
simple.
like a thumbs up and we'll talk about you in the next show. It'll be super cool. Just do it. Think Nike.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it. Anyways, last week I went to Baltimore. So I went to Baltimore because I thought that was a fucking amazing game. I thought that was going to be. It ended up being a fucking awesome game and
Yeah.
close game. So, but I went to Baltimore. You know what? I may be say in London this week. I think I picked the stadium correctly based on where this game's supposed to be, but who knows? Just think stadiums the NFL plays in London, and you should figure out where I am.
Yeah. Or James, just act like you're picking up a pencil and people can just kind of like blatantly see what's going on behind you. So
Oh, you mean the soccer pitch that's right there?
I can't read anything in those stands.
I didn't even look to see if it was written in the sands. Is it?
Yeah, dude.
I didn't even fucking look at it. I honestly,
Okay.
I
Well, we
picked
just
the
gave it
picture,
away. Whoops.
pick, picked the picture and rolled with it. Let me let me take a look. Okay, Wembley Stadium. Oh, whoops.
Yeah. Yeah. Cat's out of the bag, but you guys can still play because you still get the super special shout out if you play. But if you
Uh,
don't play, there's no super special shout out. It's just like you're oblivious to us, which kind of sucks. That means you
yeah, it
don't
does.
exist.
I
So
guess it does say it right there in those seats,
right
right there,
there.
right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
All right.
anyways,
Yeah, so that's Name That Stadium. James, let's talk about the news from this past week, my man. And I think probably the big couple things that came out. I guess we'll start with the Devonte Adams trade.
mhm.
So I don't know, man. A little bit of a crybaby in Vegas or whatever. Uh, However, it all played out. The dude is in New York with the Jets now, playing for his homeboy Aaron Rodgers. And man, they gave him away for like frickin' peanuts. I mean, what was it,
Yeah,
like a third round pick or something? Maybe a little
and
more complicated than that. But
magically, his hamstring is healthy now, and
yeah,
he's
and so
good to
he's
go.
he's expected to play Sunday.
Yeah,
Doesn't need a whole
thanks.
lot of time to get back up to speed.
Yeah, so you will have a full workload for the Sunday night game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, my hamstring, my hamstring. Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, I think Rodgers sent him the playbook a couple weeks ago, and he'd just been getting ready. So,
Yeah. I,
you know,
I I didn't even see the trade. Like, you texted me. Like, like I said, I've been fucking busy as hell at work,
yeah.
transitioning from one assignment, transitioning the person's coming into the assignment, and it's just been a
It's
fucking
all
shitty
good.
week.
Yeah.
But you texted me that. The other one that I didn't see, which it's kind of a similar situation, is the Amari Cooper trade,
Yep.
which
Same
yeah, I
thing.
think
Peanuts.
peanuts. So I mean, I don't know why. Like I kind of understand you want to get um rid of your problem childs, but like get something for them.
Hmm.
Like maybe you wait a week, let them be on injured out the game, wait a week and fucking let the Jets sweat, let them
Yeah.
have another dismal performance offensively, and then see what else they give.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, with Aiden Hutchinson getting hurt, which I guess we'll talk about. Hutchinson's out for the year, brutal freaking
Oh
leg injury.
fuck.
Oh my gosh, man. Um,
You know it's bad when the announcers say we saw the replay while we were at
can't show it.
commercial.
Yeah,
We're not going to show it to you
yeah.
because we're not going to do that to you.
Oh
That's
yeah, dude.
like,
I mean, his leg was just like whoop. It was like just kind of. It was not good. But
oh,
um,
you saw it?
oh yeah, dude. I saw it. I like rewound it and watched it a few times to figure it out, and it was like, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, so he's out for the year, which sucks for the Lions, right? And now there's a lot of people uh, basically saying the Lions should be trading for Max Crosby. And I want to talk about it more in question of the week. But man, I'm seeing some crazy shit about people saying we should be giving up like fucking 2 first-round picks for Crosby, or a first and a third, or some of them are a first and a second. And either way, we'll put a pin in it because I want to talk about that at the end of the show.
We'll put a pin in it, and I agree with you. I have a strong opinion
Yeah.
about the defense even after because Hutch got hurt early.
Yep.
It wasn't like second
Well,
quarter.
no, I mean, I want to say it was the third quarter, right? But the thing that pissed me off is that, you would have thought after that happened, they would have start rolling in the backups because they were up by like fucking 3+ scores. But they
Hmm.
kept the backups, I mean, they kept the starters in until like way late in the fourth quarter, which that kind of bothered me because it was just like, look, man, you guys got this game in the bag. All you got to do is run the fucking ball, and there's no way Dallas is coming back, man. Why risk anybody else getting hurt after that? But you know, at the same time, man, there's a lot of beef between Detroit and Dallas, and I think Ben Johnson wanted to warm up some fucking secret plays in the playbook for whenever he might need them again later in the year, or put a wrinkle on them for later in the year, and so I guess I'm all right with it. I just didn't want to see anybody else get hurt. You know.
No, I hear that, and like I liked the weird ass plays that he was throwing out there, and the reason
Yeah.
I like those weird ass plays because now in that formation, the next time they're in that formation, a team
Oh
has to
yeah, they got to
think,
be thinking, what the
wait
fuck's
a
gonna
minute,
come to us?
yeah, what the fuck are they about to do?
Yeah,
So yeah,
and
you're
how
right.
are
It
they gonna
was
how are they gonna tweak it from the last time we saw it?
yeah. How are they going to tweak it from the last? Like it just puts that in the back of the mind, and I guess it was later than I remembered. Like I remember it happening, but like it was like
Yeah.
kind of like a blur to me.
Well, and I'll tell you, just going back to the plays, that's one of the things that I've really liked about Ben Johnson. And I was curious to see how it would go after his first year as offensive coordinator because a lot of times you see guys struggle to like add those wrinkles in
Hmm.
so that they're staying ahead of the defenses. And it's like, Man, he has had no problem with that. Every year he just gets more and more creative. And the guys, dude, they execute these plays, man. I think some of it is that you got a great offensive line, which gives you a lot of flexibility with the playbook. But man, they're getting it done and they're having fun doing it, which is awesome.
Yeah. So I found the injury on the play-by-play, and it was like 12 minutes left in the third quarter. So real
Hmm.
early fucking third quarter. But I mean, fuck it. And to go out like his last play of this season is a fucking sack.
Yeah,
I mean, too bad because he would have been defensive fucking player of the year
yeah, it
if he
could have
would have
been.
continued on his
Yeah,
trajectory. Like I don't want to harp on that. Like it sucks. It just sucks that he got hurt. But I have opinions. Let's move on to the next piece because
sure,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna get sad and angry.
So, injury wise, but in a positive light, it looks like Nick Chubb is expected to play on Sunday against the Bengals. And so nice to see him coming back. I am a little bit surprised that they're not just going to like put him on the shelf for the year because it seems like their season is already fucking toast. And I wouldn't want to risk Chubb like
Yeah.
aggravating this injury. It was pretty fucking serious.
But also, I can see the argument the other way to like mix him in a little bit to get him that
Shake some
football
rust
because
off.
shake the rust off so when he comes back when next year like and I'm not saying play him full like just mix him in a few plays here and there to get the rust off to get him used
Sure.
to the game speed a
Yeah.
little bit
Yeah.
so next year when he comes
I'm
back full
fine with
go.
it. I'm fine with it both ways. I just, I think I would have been better with it if they like were 500 or something, but like
Yeah.
they're having such a shitty year and they just traded away Amari Cooper. I mean, Watson fucking sucks and they're not benching him. It just seems to me like they're just crash coursing for like the fucking number one overall pick, man.
Yeah, like I don't understand why the fuck they're so stuck on Watson.
I mean, hey, I think it was last week I was telling you, if they don't change it, I'd be ready to fire Stefanski because, unless like the owner is telling him he has to do it, to me, that is a major failure by the head coach to not look at it and say, this just isn't fucking working. Look at what Canales did with Bryce Young. He wasted
Uh-huh.
no time saying, nope, not happening.
But
Like,
also with Bryce Young, didn't Bryce Young have like an injury where he had to sit out a play that was like that allowed Canales to say to pull the plug?
I mean, I know that that's what happened with Levis when Mason
It might
Rudolph
be
took over,
it
but
might
with
be Levis
Bryce
that I'm
Young,
confusing Bryce Young with.
I
It
mean, I
might
just know
be
it was a big deal when he announced that Dalton was getting a start and that they were
yeah,
benching Bryce Young.
yeah, because I thought I remember because Dalton took over in the middle of the game because I remember texting you when Dalton took over and saying this is what I thought the Panthers were going to look like when Dalton took over
Yeah,
and when I for some reason I thought like it was like he was knocked out for a play or something but it might not have been I might have been confusing him with
eh,
Levis.
it's all good. It's all good, my man. Oh, and then also injury stuff coming back. It looks like Anthony Richardson is going to start against the Dolphins, which will be. I mean, I think Flacco did good. I don't know what were they 1-1 with Flacco, so not like crazy, but Flacco was moving the offense really well, man. And so Richardson coming back. I guess my concern with him is just that we know he's electric if he's running the ball and he can drop some freaking bombs. But the dude's like sub 60% completion percentage, which just makes it like a really, really choppy, kind of hard to watch offense, right? It's
Uh-huh.
like it's all boom or all bust, man.
Oh, exactly. And I don't know what to think of Richardson. Like I'm pissed off that I kept him because like he has so much. I kept him in fantasy because he has so much potential. But like this year, I don't know if it's the offense. I don't know if it's him.
He just
I just
I mean, I'm trying to keep in mind that he still doesn't have a full 17 games under his belt yet, right? Because he
yeah.
missed a lot of last year. And so I'm kind of looking at it as like, like a halfway continuation of his rookie season. And so, and he already got hurt again this year. And so it's like, that stuff sets him back. But I was hoping he would have been, closer to like the 60-65 completion percentage mark, which is,
Yeah.
kind of like the standard now in the NFL.
Speaking of quarterbacks,
Yes.
did you see what happened with former QB Jay Cutler?
I have not. What's going on with Cut?
Apparently, he was arrested in Tennessee on Thursday night. He got in a traffic accident and he's facing 4 criminal charges. Driving under the influence, possession of a handgun while under the influence, failure to exercise due care to avoid a collision, and implied consent. What the fuck's the implied consent?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
He had 2 firearms in his possession, including a loaded pistol. He was given $5,000 bond, which was nothing. I don't understand what the implied consent is.
Yeah, it's I mean the definition. Oh, here, let me get an example. When you show up to your doctor's office for your seasonal flu shot and roll up your sleeve. Okay, well, what does that fucking mean for? It's weird. I don't know what that means, man.
Yeah, so I found this Lawyer Monthly article, Legal Charges and Consequences. With the combination of gun possession, the violation of implied consent law suggests that Cutler may have refused a breathalyzer test.
Oh.
There you go. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you definitely can't be carrying a firearm while you're under the influence. That's a fucking no-no anywhere you go.
Yeah, and it's just like
why is Cutler carrying a firearm? What's he got to worry about?
No. He didn't have one firearm. He had 2 fucking guns. But it wasn't.
You always got to have one on the ankle, right?
No. It wasn't on him. It was. They were in his car.
Okay, all right. Still.
But the problem is
in his
apparently in Tennessee, you have, if you're under the influence of alcohol, you cannot even be in possession of guns. Like, so it can't even be in your fucking car. Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. You can't have one in your possession, and it doesn't mean it has to be on you. If it's in your car, that's technically in your possession. Yeah.
Right, but then that suggests that if you can't have it in your possession, you can't even have it in your house and drink.
No, your house is different because there's the well, I guess it depends on the state, but your house is different because you're not going anywhere and you're not in public. You're in the privacy of your own home, which there's a whole different set of rules and laws for that. If you're in a car, you're out in the public. If you were in your car in your driveway, I think that you're probably okay, but you shouldn't be getting pulled over if you're just sitting in your car in your driveway. So,
well, I mean, you could, if you're sitting in your car in your driveway, I guess a cop could roll up because you're sitting in your car in your driveway and your neighbors are like, why the fuck's this asshole sitting in his car in his driveway for the last 2 hours? Then it's a matter of,
I guess, are the keys in the ignition or not, and then maybe you got other issues. But, if you're in the privacy of your home, you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want. So.
Yeah, you can.
And I'm not a lawyer, but,
Yeah. No, I'm just, I don't know. It's just.
Yeah.
Like, stupid shit like that. Like, so, like, I could have a gun, just hypothetically, even if it's in a lock case, I could have it in my trunk of my car.
Mm-hmm.
Go out drinking.
Mm-mm.
And no. And then if it's found in my car while I'm drunk, I could get charged with that, even though it's in a locked case in my trunk.
Correct, because you're capable of unlocking it.
What if I don't have the key with me for the
Oh,
said lock case?
the police aren't going to argue with you on that. They're going to say, nope, it's in your possession. And
Well, I guess
the rule is just it cannot be in your possession, and the car counts as your possession if you're operating the vehicle.
what if I'm not driving the vehicle,
Well, then why are they
but it's
fucking
my
searching your
vehicle
car?
because I'm obviously fucking drunk.
And what are you doing? Well, but you're not. But if you're
Well, when
not,
I'm drunk, I'm going to be an asshole to them, so they're going to want to search my car.
if you're
So
not in the car,
no,
it's
no,
not
no.
in your possession.
I didn't say I wasn't in the car,
Well, if you're in the car, then it's in your possession.
but I'm not driving the car
It's if it's your
because the
car,
car's
it's
not in
still
my
in.
possession if
If
I'm
it's
not
your
driving it.
well, first of all,
I'm just fucking with you. You don't have to.
whether it's your car or not, you cannot be in possession of a firearm under the influence of alcohol. So if you're in your buddy's car and you put your gun in the trunk, you can't be drunk and have a gun in the car, man.
So, and then that begs the question because law enforcement, you're required to have your gun on you at all times.
There's a different set of rules for law enforcement.
So then, therefore, if you're required to have your gun on you at all times, you can't go drinking because then you're violation of that. You have possession of firearm. You're
Um,
technically breaking the law. I'm just in an argumentative mood. You don't actually have to answer.
I'm trying to think of how that works because I have a lot of, former colleagues that are prior law enforcement, and I know we've talked about this before, but I don't remember how that works, and that's obviously in the state of Michigan. But either way, James, it's not football. Let's keep
It's not
going,
football.
my man.
I just, like I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
I've had a week. And I
You
want to
want to
argue.
nitpick, and you want
I
to go
want to
down a
argue.
rabbit hole, and that's fine. All
All
right,
right.
so
So
there was another injury thing. Rashid Shaheed is out for the rest of the season. He had a knee injury, required surgery. That's a huge blow for the Saints, man, because he was having a great year, especially on special teams.
And while I'm looking at the news here, I got to make a transaction in our fantasy league.
Oh, you son of a bitch. That's fine. You do that, and I'll just hit a couple last things, and we'll move on. But it looks like the Cleveland Browns are going to be moving their stadium. The Cleveland mayor says that they are going to a suburban domed stadium in Brook Park, despite the city of Cleveland's efforts to keep them. Man, I tell you, having been to a Browns game, I think a lot of people are going to be pissed off about that for a little while because, dude, that stadium gets freaking rocking.
Hmm.
And
But remember that with the Brown Stadium, there's that safety issue with it about the wrap. We talked about it a couple years ago. How like the firm that built the stadium was using subpar non-flame retardant stuff.
okay,
So there's a serious public safety issue with the continued use
gotcha.
of the Brown Stadium.
All right.
I have a fantasy question for you.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay.
Quarterback to keep
Yeah.
because I have three of them on my
Yeah.
roster right now. Rodgers, Cousins. Which one would you keep?
Or Richardson.
Or Richardson?
I would keep Rodgers or Cousins over Richardson
But which one?
between
So
Rodgers and Cousins.
yeah,
Well, I mean, it's tempting to stick with Rodgers now that he's got Devontae Adams. You kind of want to see what he does there, right? And that offense did look pretty good last week with Downing calling the plays instead of Hackett.
true.
I mean, it's tough, dude, because you're talking Garrett Wilson's now your two, Lazard's your three, or actually Mike Williams is your three, Lazard's your four, Conklin's your tight end. You got Brees Hall and Braylon Allen at running back. I mean, it's like, dude, if Rodgers can't like just start fucking 2, 3 TDs every game from here on out, this is like a horrible failure for the Jets, man.
Actually, I didn't have to drop a player. Haha.
There you go.
Because I was able to pick him up straight to fucking IR.
Hey, all right then.
So for the 49ers, Ricky Pearsall is making his debut this week.
Yes.
But he's still listed as NFI, so I got a minute to think about which quarterback to keep.
Okay. So you think about that. And I guess the Steelers are keeping their quarterback decision in-house, trying to be tricky going into the game against the Jets. Who's going to be
George
playing?
Pickens said Russ is starting.
Oh boy. Well, Tomlin says it's in-house.
So here's this article. Steelers wide receiver George Pickens appeared ready to announce the QB change as he told reporters he spent more time with Wilson after practice because this is his first start.
Well, somebody just landed in Tomlin's doghouse then.
Yeah, he said both quarterbacks look sharp. Okay, first of all, I'm going to start with why the fuck are you making a change at quarterback to Russ? Like, what the fuck do you owe Russ? Not jack shit. You are currently 4-2 with fucking Fields as your quarterback. You just won fucking 32-13.
Dude, you can't question Tomlin, man. It's hard, dude. You know, if Tomlin's saying Russ is the guy, you gotta trust it. And if he changes his mind 2 weeks from now, you know, you just say fuck, it's Tomlin, dude. How do you doubt the guy? He's like the only coach ever to not be sub 500, man.
So here is my comment about it. Is his lack of sub 500 making him too cocky and thinking everything that he fucking touches is gold?
I think he's worried that Fields is going to self-destruct with turnovers, and he thinks Russ is going to be his fucking Alex Smith, be smart with the ball, and let his defense help him win games the way he wants to win games.
So
that's just my opinion.
You're winning. Don't upset the apple cart. Let Fields start to self-destruct, and then you can
two turnovers. What do they got to do? 4-3, 4-4 before you switch?
No, like even like during a game, let that self-destruction start and see it as evident in the game and make the switch in the game.
Well, you're not the coach.
Well, I'm not the coach. Tomlin is just fucking full of himself here. Like, come on. Like,
I don't know, man. I think Fields has done very well in his opportunity. But if Tomlin wants Russ, I would have a hard time arguing it. And if it ends up being wrong, then, you know, nobody's got a crystal ball. But, you know, I think this year for me, when I look at Fields, was really meant for him to like reset himself, you know, and learn. And he ended up starting, which wasn't the plan. But we've seen some of his shakiness, even though he's played actually incredibly well.
Yeah, and he's just gotten better this year. Like, week
in
and week out, he's just getting better and better and better. What does that
tell you, though? What does that tell you? There must be something going on in practice where Tomlin's like, fuck, man, the dude's a loose cannon or whatever. I don't know. There must be some reason why Tomlin would start Russ over Fields when they're 4-2.
Because he thinks he fucking owes something to Russ because of...
I don't think anybody owes shit to Russ at this point, man.
Like, you know what? Like, just go to Russ and tell him, you know, Fields is getting the job done. Like I know you were hurt and it sucks, and we were going to go into the season with you as a starter. Fields is getting the job done. The team is winning. We're currently tied for the lead in the division at 4-2 with Baltimore. Like Baltimore, I think, has it on like some like obscure wins tiebreaker over Buffalo, but wins. So it doesn't. They didn't play. They haven't played yet, have they?
No, I don't think so.
So let's see, conference 3-1 versus Baltimore 2-2. Why the fuck? Oh, division. Baltimore is 1-0 in division versus the Steelers. Division is the first tiebreaker, not conference. So
Okay.
the Steelers haven't played the division yet. The only reason why Baltimore is technically leading the division over the Steelers is because Pittsburgh has not played a fucking division game. Why are you gonna fucking make changes? Like, let it ride. Like, 4-2 is a fucking awesome start.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good when most people thought, oh man, they're effed.
Speaking speaking of fucking awesome starts, I have to find the actual stat,
Hmm.
but I read a fucking mind blowing stat this week.
Okay.
So the NFC North is combined
Oh,
17-5. The
the point
highest win
differential's nuts.
the highest win percentage by any division through 6 weeks since the merger.
Yeah, and the first time since 1970 that all four teams have 4+ wins in a division.
Yeah, it's well,
And they have the top four teams in terms of point differential in the NFL right now.
yeah, that's just fucking ridiculous.
Hey, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So I'm fucking, I'm wanting to see the Lions beat down the Vikings, dude, this Sunday. All right, well, hey, man, that's all I
Shit.
had. That's all I had news-wise. But take your time, and if you were still going on the NFC North thing, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that was it. Like the only other thing I want to do because I'll get to it in a minute because it can tie into our power rankings. So I'm
Okay.
good with the news. I don't think there's much else.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, the power rankings, from a glance, are going to be pretty boring this week. But
Mm-hmm.
whenever you're ready, James, give me your 1 through 5.
1-5 didn't change. Kansas City on a bye, stayed at 1. Detroit beat down Dallas 47-9. They stayed at 2. Here's the thing with that game against Dallas. The joke I read on it was because that Sunday was Jerry Jones's 82nd birthday.
I did not know that, but I do now.
Oh, so his 82nd birthday was Sunday. And the joke I read on is for his 82nd birthday, the Cowboys are trying their damnedest to allow 82 points in the game.
Yeah. I mean, it was embarrassing for
It was
Dallas.
embarrassing for Dallas.
Great for Detroit.
Baltimore won, stayed the same. Minnesota on a bye, stayed the same. Houston won, stayed the same.
Easy enough. Yeah, my top 5 stayed the exact same. Kansas City, Baltimore, Houston, Buffalo, Detroit. I mean, not a whole lot to move here, man. Back to you at 6.
All right, 6. First change. I moved Washington up to number 6, even though they lost to Baltimore. It was a good game, and Baltimore's my number 3 team, and I just I really really love this Washington team and how they're playing.
Yeah,
Fucking
Daniels.
Daniels is a real quarterback, and they finally have that. Their defense is playing fairly well. I don't like allowing 30 points against Baltimore, but still, like, their
Yeah,
defense is playing fairly well. They're, like I said a couple weeks ago, they're the best team in the NFC East.
yeah. There are a lot of people talking about Dan Quinn and what he needs to do to turn around that defense, and um, he's a phenomenal defensive-minded guy, right? But they're
Mm-hmm.
saying that the pieces just aren't there right now, especially in the secondary. And then they've got a handful of guys hurt on the defensive side of the ball too. But either way, incredible what they're doing on offense.
Yeah. Buffalo stayed the same. They won. Dallas dropped them 2 spots. If I didn't know how to take the Dallas side of the Lions game, like, did the Lions just want to beat the shit out of them that bad? And like you mentioned, them keeping the starters until late. I think part of that was not wanting to allow a touchdown.
Could have been. Yeah, just like asserting the dominance.
Yeah. Then I have the Eagles, they won, stayed the same. 49ers, they won, stayed the same.
Okay. Yeah, so my 6 through 10, I've only got one change. I moved Washington up 5 spots and I put them at 6. And so basically, I flipped them with where Dallas was because I think Washington is now the best team in that division. And so after that, I got Minnesota. They stayed where they were at. They were on bye. Then I've got the Bengals, the 49ers, and the Packers, which, some of these as we're going through, some of these teams just had nowhere to go. And so it just, they stayed put. So back
Yeah.
to you at 11, my man.
And that's the same for me for 11 to 15. All these teams won. I had problems delineating, oh, this team's better, this win is better. So then you got the Chargers, Steelers, Packers, Falcons, Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are the team that I considered moving because of how dominant a performance that was. But then I look at it and it was really the issue with that game is they allowed 27 points to a team that's quarterbacked by Spencer Rattler.
Yeah. And without their top 2 wide receivers or
Yeah.
Taysom Hill. So and I'm saying that because that I'm trying to like throw a prop to Spencer Rattler, but yeah, but still, rookie, nobody was expecting him to get any time this year, and it is what it is. All right, so for me, 11 through 15, so I've got my one change, which is Dallas now at 11, so I dropped them down by 5. Then I've got Philly, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and Pittsburgh. Nothing changing with that group, man. Simple stuff this week. Back to you at 16.
All right, 16 through 19, no changes. Bengals, Seahawks, Cardinals. I considered moving the Seahawks and the Cardinals, but they lost to teams that I had ranked significantly higher than them. Then Rams on a bye. I moved the Colts up 9 spots, and really I just flipped the Colts with the Titans.
Sure.
Outside of that, like it's not like that win was super impressive. It was more of a I need somewhere to move them. Oh, they beat Tennessee. Yeah, they beat Tennessee, so just flip them.
Well, and hypothetically, they get Richardson back this week. Maybe they get Jonathan Taylor back next week. Things could be pointing upwards for them, and so I don't have a whole lot of weight on Tennessee, but still, good to make the move. All right, my 16 through 20 stayed identical. So I've got the Chargers, the Jets, the Bears, the Seahawks, and the Saints. The Seahawks did lose, and so did the Saints and the Cardinals, but all of them I had playing opponents that were significantly higher on my board. And so without some other sort of like catalyst to shake up my board, they kind of just got locked in where they were at. And so that was easy for me.
Yeah, and on me, a lot of the teams in this range from like on my power rankings, all but like 2 of the teams from 17 down lost.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was playing, or both of them were playing teams in that same range.
Yeah,
so you
that
can't
just
have
creates a
both
gridlock at the bottom. Yeah,
exactly. So I have the Jets stayed the same at 21. Raiders stayed the same at 22. I moved the Bears up 3 spots after beating Jacksonville. Hey, they won. I'm getting more impressed with more and more impressed with the Bears, unfortunately, and I fucking hate that. This is, I think, if they continue on this trajectory, this is the start of their climb up my board. And then you have the Giants who lost, Broncos who lost. Both of them lost to teams I had significantly higher than them. Couldn't really kill them for that.
Yeah, no penalty, especially when everybody else is losing behind them. So
yeah,
the Bears, man, it's tough, right? Because we want to hate them so much, but we knew that they were going to have a good defense. And their offense had so much potential. It started off really weak, and it has picked up steam every week since like week 3. And so it's just super fucking competitive in the North, man. You called it out a little while ago. So, all right, for me, I do have a little bit of change here in 21 through 25. So I've got the Cardinals; they stayed the same. I already called the Cardinals, so I must have slipped them in my last group, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
you slipped them in over the Saints, I think
Yeah,
it was.
I slipped them in. A little slippy, slidey. All right, Cardinals, Broncos, Colts, Raiders, Dolphins. And so I flipped the Raiders in the Colts. Um, and with the Raiders, this could be the start of another drop down here now that Devontae Adams is gone. We'll see. You know, they might be fine without him. He wasn't really playing anyhow, but well, I guess like this past couple weeks or whatever. But either way, is what it is. And then Miami was on a bye, so obviously no reason to move them. Back to you at 26, my man.
26 Saints dropped them 3 spots, basically just flipped Chicago and the Saints. I was even it was lost and all the teams lost. This is one of those losses where it's like yeah, the way you said it, that's right. I kind of do give them credit for scoring 27 points against Tampa Bay with a backup quarterback and all the receivers out, but also their defense, which was playing so great at the beginning of the season,
Yeah, they
allowed
fell apart.
51 fucking points, and like that's why I moved them.
You had to spank them. Yeah, you had. And if I didn't have gridlock on my board, I probably would have found a way to push them down a little bit.
Yeah, and so the opportunity was moving the Bears because I wanted to readjust the Bears a little bit.
Okay.
Browns stayed the same. Jacksonville stayed the same. Tennessee, I already talked about it. Just flipped them with the Colts and the Dolphins. They were on a bye. No reason to move them.
All right, my 26 through 30 did not change. Jags, Rams, Giants, Browns, Titans. Simple enough. Give me your dumpster fire, buddy.
Didn't change. You got the Panthers and the Patriots. I just like they both lost. If one of them would have showed up for the game a little bit more, maybe I would have. Maybe I would have had an argument to keep one team above the other. But both these teams are fucking shitty teams.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I got Carolina and the New England Patriots at the bottom. You know, nothing's changed there, my man. Which is okay. We burn through the power rankings. We can spend a little more time on the game picks or question of the week or just bullshit and going on tangents, my man. So whenever you're ready, James, why don't you lead us through our game picks? But start off with a little recap because, you know.
Yeah. Last week we had a fucking amazing week.
Yes.
You got one game wrong. I got 2 games wrong.
Yeah, that's fucking badass, man.
I got the Seattle game wrong and the Washington game. Those I was kind of throwing, and maybe he's on. And I really like.
Yeah, and I got
Washington.
the Tennessee game wrong, which I switched. So
yeah.
I was like, damn it, I could have had a perfect fucking week. And you want to know why I switched it, dude? I was watching a segment on NFL Network where they were talking about how good Tennessee's defense was this year and how it was like basically an impossible matchup for Indianapolis's offense. And I was just like, huh, that's interesting. And it's at home for Tennessee. I was like, and I had them so close the way that I was evaluating it anyhow, where I was just like, fuck it, I'll go Tennessee. And nope, it ruined my little perfect fucking week, but whatever.
Well, you want to hear something funny about it?
Sure.
I think I saw the same thing. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm glad I picked Tennessee this week. Thinking I picked them. Otherwise, I would have been sending you the same fucking message that I was switching to Tennessee. Because funny. I thought I picked them to win. Either way, for the season, you're ahead 2 games.
It's fucking
I have
tight,
58
dude.
right. You have 60 right. You had said the percentage, you're at 65%.
65.22.
And I'm at 63 or something.
63.04. We're both doing actually, after this past week, incredibly well with our win percentage here.
Yeah. And we added to that because we both were on the Broncos last night. Broncos won last night, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I started questioning it. So I was like, I think the Broncos won.
Yeah, I don't remember the final score, but, I fell asleep during the game and I woke up and saw that they, they were talking about Sean Payton owns the fucking, whatever Saints Stadium. It's like, come on, man. Like, you don't need to be fucking saying shit like that.
Yeah. So it wasn't that close of a game. I did see that the Broncos fucking defense had another fucking touchdown. Yeah, it was
33 to 10.
to 10. So, I mean, it wasn't like it was a game. I'm
Wait,
being
the
honest.
Broncos defense had another touchdown?
Yeah, I thought I saw that.
Fucking A, dude. I hope so, because I'm pretty sure I started them in fantasy. Oh, my fucking God. They got 31 points in fantasy. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they
playing.
so there's fumble, field
Yeah, so I
goal,
must have
punt.
fell asleep for that.
Yeah, so it was late in the game. It was second to last drive of the game for the Saints. They scored a fumble recovery touchdown. It was a 52-yard fumble recovery touchdown.
Glad they did. Glad they
Yeah.
did. I need it for my fantasy season.
For some reason, I thought like there was like a blocked field goal or a blocked punt, but I might be
I mean,
thinking
there were a
something
lot
else.
of field goals early on, I know that, but I don't know what happened in the second half. That's where I dozed off.
Yeah. So, I mean, either way, fuck the Broncos defense at the end.
Yeah, but we're off to a good start.
Yeah. Off to a good start. First up, we have a game it's probably like the shittiest game of the week
Dude, if Jacksonville can't
exclusivity
win this
window.
game, if Jacksonville can't win this game, oh, I
So
don't
here's
even know
the
what,
thing, and I don't need the stats, but the last couple of years, Jacksonville has played back-to-back weeks in London. In the last couple of years, from what I remember, the fucking Jaguars lose the first game and win the second game.
Yeah, I thought I saw something about that. They got a high win percentage after losing the first one in Jacksonville. Or, I mean, in London.
Jacksonville Jaguars London game history. So, 2023. Why the fuck are there no scores on that? What the fuck? All right. There better be scores in this one. Otherwise, I'm going to fucking... Okay, so they had a 2-0 record in Tottenham Stadium.
God, both these guys are 1-5. Fucking. I mean, I figured New England was going to have a rocky road this year, but the Jags, holy shit, such a bad fucking year, man.
All right, here we go. This one better have the fucking scores. I swear to fuck. Where the fuck are the scores? Okay, here we go. Here it is.
Oh, their last meeting, 2022, the Pats won 50 to 10. Not that that means anything for this game, but
So last year they won both back to back.
okay.
The year before that they only played one game and won. The year before that they lost to Miami. And then there was, I guess in 2020 they didn't play there. They beat Houston. They beat Philadelphia. 2017, they lost to Baltimore. They beat the Colts. They beat the Bills. They beat the Cowboys. And they beat the 49ers.
Okay.
So they've lost 2 games in fucking London.
So can they beat the Patriots?
3 games in London. Can they beat the Patriots? My whole point of this, I want to talk about something else because there's nothing else interesting to talk about this game. Jaguars win this game. Fucking, if the Patriots win this game, fucking just fold the franchise and move on. And the thing with it is Jacksonville's gonna move to London anyways.
Just a matter of time, yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
Well, not if they're building a new stadium.
But here's my question for you: why are they building a new stadium? Like, what? Anyways, I digress.
Yeah, and
You're on
I
Jacksonville
guess
as well.
until they break ground, anything can
No,
happen.
until they fucking actually spend the money to build the stadium, anything can
Yeah.
fucking happen. Like once the stadium's built, then maybe. But before then, fuck no,
Yeah.
anything can.
They do seem the most likely suspect to go to London, but um, all right. So yeah, obviously I've got the Jags. The one thing I do want to point out is when you look at the NFL.com matchups, the Jags have the 16th offense right now, middle of the road. They've got the 31st defense. The Patriots are at 28 on offense and 26 on defense. The thing that you should be watching for is how they fare with Drake May, because since they made the quarterback change, he did look pretty darn good. He's the thing that I saw with him, and he did take a couple nasty hits where he spent way too much time in the pocket. And that's the fear that I have said about him is the offensive line is so bad, you're basically, feeding him to the wolves. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but he does seem pretty goddamn quick most of the time with making a decision, whether it's tucking it and running it or fucking getting the ball out of his hand. And so I think he knows that the offensive line is a liability and he's trying to speed up his processing. But he does have those rookie moments where it's just like, dude, he just takes a nasty fucking hit because he's like, the clock didn't go off. And so,
Yeah. So
um,
these, and both teams have it's the second and third worst point differential in the league at minus 65 for Jacksonville, minus 60 for the Patriots. And you say,
so
how
bad.
the fuck can the team be worse than that? The fucking Carolina Panthers are minus 100 in their point
Oh,
differential.
minus 100. Oh,
Minus a fucking 100. They've
triple
they've
digits. Triple
they've
digits.
scored 103
Oh,
points this season, which is not the lowest in the league, not third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Wait, one,
yeah, they
two,
just have no defense.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams have scored less points than them, but they've allowed the fucking most points at 203.
That's why you don't trade Brian Burns, motherfuckers.
Anyways, I
Yeah,
digress.
which, by the way, the Giants are leading the league in sacks. Uh, you know, and
Yeah,
nobody's talking about Brian Burns and what he's done to help that defense, man, because they're not winning games.
yeah, but I mean, this is like if this is the epitome of a game the NFL would go back and say, "Wait a minute, we're not playing this game in London. Sorry, I know. We'll
Yeah,
refund your tickets." All right. Next up, we have
yeah.
the Seahawks at the Falcons. This one I was torn on. Like, the Seahawks have lost two in a row. Falcons are playing better and playing better each week. What it boiled down to is I have the Falcons rated higher, just slightly higher than the
Sure.
Seahawks, so I went with the Falcons.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got it very tightly rated between both of these teams. I like that it's in Atlanta. And just for shits and giggles, I'll tell you, NFL.com has got the Seahawks at 6 on offense and 21 on defense. Atlanta 7 on offense and 19 on defense. So I mean, they're like at this stage of the season, really fucking close, man.
And we have the Titans at the Bills. The most interesting thing about the Titans, and this is fucking crazy, the Titans lead the league in fewest yards allowed per game.
That
In
must have been something
fact,
with the stat I saw against the Colts, man. And it's like, dude, but how are
in
they fucking 1-4 or whatever? What are they 1-4 or 1-5? 1-4.
in fact, they've allowed the third fewest yards through the first 5 games of the season since 1976.
And they're just that fucking bad on offense.
Yes.
32 on offense, 32 in passing, 23 in rushing.
Will Levis had 95 yards passing last week. Through 5 games, their offense is
Oh,
averaging
that's all
135
he
yards
had was
passing per game.
95 yards. I don't know why they're not just rolling with Mason Rudolph, man. It cannot get any worse in that passing game.
Yeah, and they watch. Okay, here's the offensive coordinator said that they watched every passing play to figure out what's going on. Well, here's a fucking idea. It might be your quarterback.
Yeah. And by the way, Mason Rudolph can drop the deep ball. Like, I mean, I would get him in there. They need to open up that fucking offense, man.
Yeah,
And I would love to see Levis figure it out, man. I like him, and maybe one day he'll get there, but he's just not fucking there, dude.
so here's the thing about this game. This is the epitome of a fucking Sean McDermott choke game.
I was wondering if you were going to go there on this one.
It's the I'm gonna go with the Titans in this game.
What? What? You're taking the Titans.
Yes, I'm taking
Holy
the
shit. I
Titans.
got to change your pick on our spreadsheet here. Oh, dude. I mean, it could happen, right? But if they fucking lose this game, James, oh my God, I would just fire McDermott right now. I can't. I gotta take Buffalo, dude. I gotta take Buffalo. I mean, I get it. Tennessee's got the number one defense, but it's not doing them any favors because their offense is that bad. And if you want to change your mind, you got until Sunday at
No,
one
I'm
o'clock.
good. I might. I'm feeling it though. I'm feeling the Titans.
You're you're
I might
feeling it in your
have
jellies.
I might have buyer's remorse for it. And like right before the game, saying, "I don't know
Uh,
what the fuck I was
yeah, yeah.
thinking,"
I was
but
fucking smoking the ganja.
yeah,
All right. So you're putting in Tennessee for now. I'm sticking. I'm sticking with Buffalo. If you change your mind, I won't give you any shit, man.
next we have the, gosh, fucking
It's in
terrible
Buffalo
ass.
too, dude.
All
But yeah,
right.
keep going. Keep going.
Oh no, no, hold on. I'll do it in a second. We have the Bengals at the Browns. Like what I started to say is like fucking terrible ass games this week. There's a couple good games later, but
Yeah, apparently Burrow's like 1-5 against the Browns. How the fuck is that possible?
are you fucking kidding me?
I think he's about to be 2-5, James.
I,
Well, even though they're only 2-4 on the year. Oh, if the Bengals can't beat the Browns. Oh my gosh.
1-5 versus the fucking Browns. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I mean the thing is this is not like the Browns of last year where they had the top defense, okay? Their defense can't do anything this year because the offense isn't doing shit.
So I'm looking at the stats, and okay, so let's just call it 1-4. Well, holy shit. The last year, was that last year? 2023 when Burrow played the Browns? 14 completions for 82 yards.
The Browns defense were dynamite last year. But
14
still,
completions for 82 yards. Holy shit. Anyways, it's a fucking terrible game. I'm on the Bengals. I don't know how else to analyze this.
yeah, I mean the Browns have the number 30 defense. The number 7 I mean, I'm sorry, the number 30 offense, the number 17 defense. The Bengals are 10 on offense, 24 on defense. They're 6 in passing. And I mean, Watson is the fucking anchor dragging them down, and it's not going to stop this week. The surprise would be if Chubb came back and they gave him the ball fucking 25 times. All right? Then it would be like, oh my God, maybe they got a chance because Chubb is like some fucking savior, some unworldly savior. but he's coming off one of the craziest fucking knee injuries. I gotta believe they're only going to give him the ball 10, maybe 15 times tops. And 15 would be fucking stupid, in my opinion. Keep it at 10 or fewer. But yeah, so I'm going Bengals.
Yeah. All right. Then we have, which is really a decent game, Texans at the Packers.
Yeah, this should be a really good game.
Dobbs is coming back from suspension. I just hate the Packers so much that I'm going to pick Houston.
Okay.
Although Houston's only loss is against the NFC North this year.
Oh, whose isn't? But I know what you mean. Wow, this is weird. Oh, here we go. I found him. Let's see. So, I hate Green Bay as well, right? But I'm going to take the Packers in this game. When you look at the NFL.com stats, I can see why you would want to make the case for the Texans. They're 5 on offense, 8 on defense. Green Bay is 3 on offense and 20 on defense. The thing that the stats don't show that I like is that I think Green Bay is playing better complementary football, and they're being very smart and strategic throughout every game. They're being very consistent, minus like a few blips here and there. Houston has had a couple of rough patches, even though they're like, 5-1 right now. They've looked a little shaky in some games. And so it's in Green Bay. I'm going to take the Packers. And you just keep talking. I got to blow my nose.
Then we have the Dolphins at the Colts. If I could fucking talk.
The Redcoats.
Yeah, the Redcoats. The Redcoats. This year, the Colts have managed to hold just one opponent to fewer than 100 rushing yards. The Colts' run defense, that's including the first 2 games when they allowed a combined 474 rushing yards. Jesus fucking Christ. I think the Colts' run defense has been getting better, and if you can limit the run offense for the Dolphins, that's the way to win the game and hold them down. Interestingly, terribly, the Dolphins are averaging 12 points a game this year.
Yeah, I mean, until Tua gets back, I can't take the Dolphins. I mean, it's that simple for me. I got to take the Colts in this game, dude.
Yeah, I'm on the Colts. I can't believe in the Dolphins without Tua, like you said. All right, then we have the Lions at the Vikings. I'm just picking Detroit. I don't fucking care if they lose to the Vikings and Vikings go to 6-0. I'll be fucking pissed off. But the thing about it was, nope, not going there because you said that's question of the week. So Minnesota's defense has allowed the second fewest rushing yards per game at 67.2.
Oh, we're about to fucking test that shit.
Exactly. Because Detroit has the 4th most rushing yards per game at 157.8.
Yeah, and here's the thing, man. For this game, obviously I got to take Detroit, okay? The one thing that is like sneakily deceiving about Minnesota is that despite Darnold's seemingly success, these guys are 28th in rushing and 26th in passing for the 27th overall offense. It is purely their defense that has been saving them since like week 2. And so I got to go Detroit, man. Got to go Detroit.
All right. Then we have the Eagles at the Giants. If the Giants win this game, I probably will put the Eagles in like the bottom, somewhere around 25
Just
next week.
drop them straight to the dumpster fire. It's over.
Yeah. Exactly. There's no
Although I
way the
did
Giants
see
have a chance.
Neighbors is supposed to be back this week too, which we didn't cover in the news. And so, man, it's a divisional game. You got to believe that it could be close, especially because Philly's been so dysfunctional on offense, right? Um, I can't believe I just saw this. So the Giants have a better offense than Philly this year, 17 compared to Philly's 19. Uh, the Eagles do have a better defense though, 9 compared to 13. They're James, they're so much closer than I would have thought when I look at just the rankings. But um, talent wise, you have to go Philly. The thing is, which I talked about earlier, is that the Giants are leading the league in sacks, which makes them kind of like a little bit of a dark horse to upset some teams here and there. But I'm not going to do it this week. I'm taking Philly.
I'm sorry. I'm just reading this and seeing those stats, and it's oh my god, wow, that's impossible to believe.
Okay, what you got?
No, what you were saying,
Oh,
and like as you were saying that, I was seeing them on here, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding
yeah,
me?
how? Yeah, because Philly, dude, is like, and I'll tell you what, man, I was watching some of the replay of the last Philly game. Dude, it's like Jalen Hurts is staring down receivers, man. He's not like seeing the whole field. It's like, dude, what are you doing? And he's doing it a lot to his tight ends. It's like, dude, he looks to me, Jalen Hurts looks way different than he did 2 years ago, dude. Two
Mm-hmm.
years ago, that guy was on fire, man. Right now, he looks like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing in that offense.
All right, you ready to move to the Raiders at the Rams?
Yes.
So interesting stat, and it's very apropos that this game is Raiders at the Rams. Because if Sean McVay if the Rams win this game, he will tie John Robinson for the most wins as a head coach in Rams history. The reason it's
Doesn't
kind of
seem like it's that much, but okay.
let me finish. The reason it's apropos is because he will become the second coach before the age of 40 to have since the 70 merger to become the winningest coach of franchise history history. Before turning 40, he would match the feat that John Madden did in 1972 for the Raiders at age 36.
Gotcha.
Does it happen? Yes. The Rams go to 2-4.
I can't believe they're only 1-4 right now, but everybody and their mom is injured. So, um, and the Raiders are selling pieces, and they're kind of in disarray. I think the Raiders um, could win this game. They're better. Well, they're not really. They're not better. Okay, so on the NFL.com stats, they're 25 on offense, 15 on defense. The Rams are 26 on offense and 12 on defense. And I just, if I had to look at it and say which of these teams is more likely to outperform these rankings, it would be the Rams with Stafford and McVay. Even though they're having a down year because of all the injuries and all the shit going on, I'm still taking them in this game.
All right. So one thing we forgot to address in the news
of
is
the week?
Brady officially became
shit, yeah.
part owner of the Raiders. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. Everything I have read on what his current job to do for the Raiders is to recruit Belichick to become their next head coach.
But who are they going to get at quarterback? Because I think wherever Belichick goes next year, it's going to be a place with either an established quarterback or a path to getting an established quarterback. I don't see him wanting to take a fucking like top 5, top 10 quarterback in the draft and roll that dice at this stage of his career, you know? But I'd be fine seeing Belichick in Vegas.
So here's the thing. Here's the problem I have with Brady being a part owner. So technically, teams can't ban Aaron Andrews or Burkhardt or any of the rest of the crew that works with Brady from meeting with the team. Burkhardt, Andrews, and Tom Rinaldi. That's fine. They can't. Can go to practices, production meetings, but Brady can't.
Okay.
You know, Burkhardt, Rinaldi, and Aaron Andrews are sharing that information with Brady.
For sure, but they're sharing a lot of it publicly too, right? So
Right, but before the game, sharing that information with Brady, who has part ownership of the Raiders.
Yeah. Hey guys, here's what they're doing in practice.
Exactly. This article I read, I like this quote. Could you imagine Belichick allowing people into like the pregame meetings that could share that information with the co-owner of the Jets? Like seriously, like it's just fucking ridiculous. Brady should be ineligible to announce games. Well,
that should be
close.
Yeah, everything should be changing for him now. Yeah.
2, he's a fucking owner, and it's fucking ridiculous. He's a fucking owner in the league. He already can't criticize players, coaches, coaching decisions. He can't criticize the refs. What the fuck is he really doing? Saying some bullshit. When I was a player,
I'll tell you this, James. Watching him, and here's the crazy thing is he replaced Greg Olson.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he sounds like the exact same to me as Greg Olson. It's like
except for Greg Olson said something that was actually fucking interesting every once in a while.
I don't think we're getting a whole lot different with Tom Brady, but it's also
hey KB, how do you think of this?
It's also his first run at it, and he's got some restrictions, and so I don't know, man. I don't want to.
But those restrictions aren't going away. Those restrictions will never go away because he owns a fucking team.
Okay.
Anyways,
I'd rather watch Romo any day, and I know you don't like Romo either, so.
Oh, I don't like Romo, and I would rather watch Romo than Brady. All right.
Yeah, I want to watch Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth. Those are my favorite, man.
I miss that. Kirk Herbstreit is not the same as Collinsworth.
Yeah.
Anyways, I digress. We have the Panthers at the Commanders. My question in this game is: does Jane Daniels does that Commanders offense throw up 100 on that defense? Commanders all day.
Yeah, you got to take the Commanders in this game. They've got the number 4 offense. Yeah, they're struggling on defense, number 23. But Carolina, 22 on offense, 29 on defense. They just can't get shit going either way. And so Arizona,
100 fucking points.
Arizona. Washington, very exciting football team. Got to ride them, man. I'm going Washington.
All right, then we have actually a good game this week. The Chiefs at the 49ers, and this is going to be another little rematch of the Super Bowl. Might be another little switcheroo here.
Okay.
Because my issue with it is with my predictions. I have the Chiefs as the last remaining undefeated team at 6-0. Technically, because the Chiefs game is, or is that at the same time? What time? Well, let me look at game times real quick. Technically, I think because the Chiefs game is kicks off after the Lions game will end. Yes, the Chiefs are the last technical undefeated team.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, Pearsall's legit, and the Chiefs are going to be unsure how to deal with that offense. That's what I'm saying. Chiefs are 5-0. They have the lowest point differential by any 5-0 team since 2004.
Oh, they're winning with defense big time this year,
Even a
right?
lower point differential than the Dolphins did when they, or not the Dolphins, the Vikings did. What was it, 2 years ago when they won every game by less than a
Oh yeah,
touchdown?
yeah, yeah. No, listen, the Chiefs are winning with defense in very, very smart football and offense. The 49ers are struggling even though they boast the number 2 offense. Their defense is middle of the pack this year at 14. It it's tough, James. It's tough to pick the 49ers even though it's at San Francisco because the 49ers have been stepping on their fucking dicks all year. That's the easiest way to put it, dude.
You say that. You say it's tough to
I
pick
do say that
San
because they've been
Francisco.
stepping on their dicks, man.
I still haven't told you my pick.
Well, yeah, you can take. I mean, you've kind of like
The
planted the seed that you're
49ers.
taking the 49ers.
The
Yeah.
49ers.
Okay. You want them to get redemption.
I don't fucking care about redemption or any shit like that.
It's all good, dude. You're shaking it up. We got 4 games with some separation at this point. Just be careful. This is where the fucking landslide could start to. Now I'm up by 6. No, I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just kidding. I can't get cocky. I'm only up 2 games. All right. What's next, my man?
Next up is the Jets at the Steelers. Devonta Adams debut.
Yeah, I'm only up 2, and you were up just a couple weeks ago, so I can't get cocky.
Here's the thing with this game. My pick solely lies on who's playing quarterback for the Steelers. And I
Okay.
never thought I would say this ever. And I'm
Okay.
saying it now. This is an automatic. If Fields is the starting quarterback, I'm on the Steelers.
Well, you
If
get until
Russ,
8:20 on Sunday night.
no. If Russ is the starting quarterback, I'm on the Jets. Right now, it looks like Russ is going to be the starting quarterback, so I'm on the Jets. If it's announced that Fields is the starting quarterback, I'm not even going to text you. Just know
Well,
I'm changing to the Steelers.
you gotta text me. It's got to be on the record, my man. Got to be on the record. So
Just know
maybe
I'm
you
changing.
put an alert in your phone, you know, or you can I
I,
guess like bookmark this time of the show and we'll go back. But man, just make it official. Just make it
I,
official.
I hear you. I'm just saying that for our viewers, just assume that if Fields is starting, that I'm switching to
All
the
right, all
Steelers.
right. I get you. I'm giving you a hard time. I'm making you go through the red tape, is what I'm doing.
Yeah. And I'm going possibly technology free for a couple days this weekend, and maybe just watching a little TV, not doing much because I fucking, like I told you earlier this morning, I sat down at my work computer at 10 a.m. and besides getting up to go take a piss twice, I sat here till like 5:30 when we started.
Okay. No, I get it. You got to recharge the batteries. You got to have some U time. That's fine. Regardless of who starts at quarterback for the Steelers, I think Tomlin is fucking laser focused on winning this game. You know, I'm taking the Steelers, man. They're so fucking disciplined, and the Jets are just so fucking erratic for what they should have been this year. And I think that the Jets have massive upside potential now that they've handed over play calling duty to Downing from Hackett because, you know, Hackett apparently has been like the weight dragging them down. But it's like a bonus adding Devontae Adams. Still, I think Tomlin knows there's no fucking around in this game, and that's probably why he wants Russ because they can't have any fucking turnovers if they're gonna win. And so I'm taking the Steelers.
All right. Then we have the first of two Monday night games. Second one we will get pissed off about, but the Ravens
Dude,
at the
I'll just say
Buccaneers.
this, not to interrupt you, but I'm actually warming up to the double Monday night games.
No, I don't have a problem with the double Monday night game. I have a problem with the other game
Okay.
only being on ESPN Plus.
Well, yeah, that shit I don't like. But I kind of was liking the double Monday nights because it's like it's easy for me to block out that time on Monday night, and I can just like pop back and forth from one game to the other. It's
I
like,
would
oh my
just
gosh, man.
The thing with the Monday night games is I would like to see them time it a little bit more,
Yeah, spread them
where
out more.
spread it out like start the first game at like 7:15 instead of
Yeah.
8:15. So like you're in the second half in the first game, so you can focus on like
Yeah, it's
if you
like you can
want you
kind of like you can kind of pick one that you lean towards at that point.
yeah.
I know what you mean, man. Yeah, I would like that idea.
But anyways, the Ravens, I was tempted to pick the Bucks in this game. I really was. Like I hate it. I hate the fact that like I absolutely hate the fact that fucking Baker Mayfield is 6-2 against Lamar Jackson. Baker Mayfield has also won the
Yeah,
past 3 meetings with Lamar Jackson.
those are good stats to know.
Um, I absolutely hate that. I hate
But the
that.
Bucks are 27 on defense, surprisingly.
Yeah, and that but that's that with Baker against Lamar Jackson. Like that gave me serious pause to pick the Buccaneers in this game, but I can't because their defense is just so bad, and
They've had a
that's
lot of
it's
injuries.
it's
They're a good
so
defense. They're just, you know,
they're
they're hurt.
playing so badly, but the offense like I just I have to pick the Ravens just
Yeah.
because of the fact, but statistically like matchup wise with these two quarterbacks, and yeah, they're not the entire game, and maybe Baker had better defenses the last 3, whatever. It's just I hate the fact that Baker's won the last 3 and is 6-2 against Lamar, and that
Yeah.
gave me serious pause and considered picking the Bucks, but I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
I got you, man. It's all good. I'm taking the Ravens also. They've got the number one offense, the number 18 defense. But, you know, the thing that I love about them the most is they've got the number one rushing offense, which helps them control the game, control the ball. And fucking Derrick Henry, dude, just keeps bulldozing and scoring every fucking week, man. And so I'm going all Ravens in this game.
And just think, Jerry Jones, you could have had Derrick Henry if you just picked
Yeah.
up the phone.
Oh, but I will say this, just like flipping it real quick, is that the Ravens have been exposed in the secondary this year on defense, and the Bucks have been really good passing. They're number 9 in passing. So if they're going to stay in this game, it's going to be getting it done through the air, in my opinion. That's the most likely scenario. But I'm still going Ravens, man.
All right, then we have the second Monday night game. I already spilled the beans. It's only on ESPN Plus, which fucking pisses me off. It's not that good of a matchup as it is because you have a well 3-2 versus 2-4. Like the Chargers
Yeah.
have been kind of hit and miss. Both teams have been inconsistent this year. Passing wise, the Chargers aren't doing shit, but also the Cardinals' passing defense is kind of crappy. Um, they're allowing 6.6 passing yards per play. They're 24th in the NFL. But the Chargers are averaging 29th in the NFL, 187 passing yards per game. Arizona has allowed 220 passing yards per game. And I apologize. 6.6 passing yards per play was the Chargers. Arizona has allowed 7.78 passing yards per play.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just
the
it's
Chargers are winning with defense, dude. They've got the number 3 defense. They're 31 on offense.
yeah.
Um, Honestly, it's like when I look at the Chargers this year, I would say they are a eerily similar version of the Steelers, except that like the normal Steelers that you would think of in your head, except that the Steelers this year are actually doing some stuff on offense. Um, Man, they're doing really good. The Chargers on
I would
defense.
just like to point out the Steelers are doing stuff on offense with who at quarterback?
I know you're gonna die on that hill, but that's okay. Uh, but yeah, the Chargers. Dobbins has had like a resurrection year. He's had so many games with 100 fucking yards. Um, yeah, I get it. They've got nothing in the passing game, but they knew that because they got rid of everybody and their mom in the receiver room, and so and Herbert's been hurt a lot too. But I like what I'm seeing out of the Chargers. I think that it's like a slow but steady team. They're not going to like win in dominating fashion. They're going to win in like really close fucking, grind them out kind of old school football every kind of week. And so I'm taking the Chargers, man.
Interestingly, Sat, I just saw about this, and it goes back also because you likened them to the Steelers. Currently, there's two teams in the NFL this year that have not allowed a point off of a turnover. And that's the Chargers, not a point, not even a field goal, nothing, and the Steelers.
Well, thank you for reinforcing me.
Yeah. I saw that stat as you were saying
Yeah.
that, and I was like, it makes sense why you're seeing that and I'm seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Harbaugh wasn't fucking kidding when he was talking about wanting to win with defense.
Mm-hmm.
They got the number 3 defense. I mean, in what what did we talk about with fucking Brandon Staley for all these years? A defensive minded guy with immense talent on that defense, and that defense was always in the fucking bottom third of the league with Staley as the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Harbaugh, first year turning it right around on defense.
Then they've had the talent on defense too. It's not like they went out and got all this immense talent to come in on defense. It's more or less the same players, maybe like one or two pieces
Brandon
here. But
Staley had the guys. He just couldn't fucking do it, dude. It's
and
crazy.
he was supposed to be a defensive-minded head coach too.
A guru, Oh, why? Because you had Aaron Donald and all these fucking badasses in the Rams for a year? Come on.
Yeah.
And how are the Rams doing this year, by the way?
But then again, how many years? How many years in a row did I say that they should get rid of Staley?
We said it every year. We said it every fucking year. It was so pathetic that they kept him. But I mean, hey, go back. It's like, man, I wish I could just have 1 year as the defensive coordinator with Aaron Donald on my defense, because it's like instant catapult to a head coach job.
So here's my question for you.
Yeah.
Is that why the 49ers are sucking now on defense?
I don't know, because they went through a few defensive coordinator changes since Saleh, right?
Right, but one of their coaches now is Brandon Staley.
Oh, I guess I wasn't even paying attention to that, but I would love it. I would love it if they could find a way to bring Saleh back. But I think Saleh's probably taking some time to figure out if he can be a head coach again, right? And I don't know that anybody's given him a head coaching job. I think he's in the situation where he's got to step back before he can step forward again, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I agree with you there. So we're probably going to talk a little bit more about this game next week, because if I have the schedule right, we're going to be doing Wednesday instead of Friday next week, if I have it down. But
yeah, let me just put it in the calendar now. Yeah, we'll do Wednesday.
But we have we can talk.
Yeah.
Talk later just to verify. But we have the Vikings at the Rams on Thursday night. This was like a no-brainer pick based on what's going on with the Rams this year and what's going on with the Vikings this year. The Vikings easily bounce back from losing to Detroit. And the thing that fucking bugs the shit out of me is if the Vikings, and I was looking at this and I want to verify this, if the Vikings beat the Lions this week, They could possibly. They are currently 5-0. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Oh, their schedule's
11,
soft.
12.
This is where their schedule gets fucking soft. Oh
Their
man.
their next okay, so the Bears, I could consider that a decently hard game. But after this week they have the Rams, the Colts, the Jaguars, the Titans, then the Bears.
Holy shit. That is so fucking soft.
And then
Basically, Detroit can't fucking lose a game, is what you're telling me.
yeah, because then it's they've they have a soft ass schedule as it is.
Yeah.
So like hard games on their schedule, I'm going to count all the division games as hard games, even if
Yeah.
I do that. So you have 6 division games remaining that are hard games. Maybe the Falcons and maybe the Seahawks.
Okay. So let's say 8 hard games. Maybe you split them. You get 4 out of the 8.
Yeah, you have 4 out of the 8 and a bunch of easy games. So you're looking at a potential of being 13-4.
Based off of what you're telling me, that's a very real fucking possibility, dude. Holy shit.
I mean, if they lose to the Lions this week, that could change to 13-5, and that's assuming they split their hard games.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they get the momentum going and they beat the Lions this week,
Yeah. We got to beat them twice, is what you're telling me.
yeah, we have to beat them twice. First of all, luckily we have them this week, and then we have them last week of the season.
Yeah.
But they have, and that's also assuming that nothing happens with the Falcons, nothing happens with the Seahawks. With the Seahawks, I'm not necessarily saying that's a hard game. I'm saying that's a potential for a hard game.
Yeah.
Because it's at Seattle.
And yet both of us are taking the Vikings here. Not against Detroit, against the Rams.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because like their road games and not including division games, besides the division games, the only team that they play tough, that could be tough on the road, is the Seahawks.
yeah, dude, the schedule makers, dude. I mean, we talked about it early on. The schedule makers for sure gave the fucking Bears like a layup, right? And the Vikings, man, they're getting. It's all right. It's all right because, like I said earlier, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And so I like it that Detroit, if we can fucking rip through this, we're going to be like, motherfuckers, we played the hardest fucking shit ever and fucking beat y'all bitches. And so,
Yeah.
let's just do
So,
it, guys.
so like the Bears, I could see them tapering off at the end of the season because they have all their easy games at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Like this week, like they have the
Except that they're
Cardinals.
getting momentum on offense, and we know the
Yeah.
defense is good, so they're finally ready to be like, banging out those hard games. If they had those hard games early on, it could have fucked Caleb Williams' confidence and just like drug him down the whole year. But they were able to build momentum with a soft schedule to start, man.
Yeah, and they still haven't played a division game. They don't play a division game until another month.
Mm-hmm.
But so they have the Commanders, then Cardinals, then the Patriots, and then they start division with the Packers, Vikings, Lions, 49ers, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, Packers. And I think the Packers are the same fucking shit.
Yeah, the Lions have no margin for error. That's what you're telling me. There's no margin for error.
All right. So the Packers, obviously, they have the Texans. Then they play the Jags, Lions, Bears, 49ers, Dolphins, Lions, Seahawks, Saints. And then you have the fucking Lions. Like that just that fucking bugs me because the Lions still have to play. Let me see. They play the Vikings. Well, then Packers. They still have to play the Texans, the Bills, the 49ers. Motherfucking schedule makers. Motherfuckers. All right. Anyways, I digress. We're both on Minnesota. It scares me because Minnesota could end up, if they win this game, could end up like 15-2, 16-1.
Yeah. Yeah, this could be like the fuck no. This is just I don't even know. This is just not good.
Yeah,
All right.
it's not good. Anyways, I digress. Anything else for game picks? Otherwise, why don't you take it?
Yeah,
Take
let's
that
go to
handle and go
question
to
of the week, my
question of the
man.
week.
Yeah. So all right, as I was talking about earlier, I wanna go back and discuss this Detroit Lions Max Crosby connection and speculation that everybody and their mom is saying, we need to trade for him. He's a Michigan guy. He went to fucking Eastern. Bring him home. He's not happy with the Raiders anyhow. There's all these things going on. It's just like Devontae Adams. He's been unhappy. Get him out of there. Adams went to play with Rodgers. He can come to Detroit and come home, and it'd be like the same fucking thing. But here's the problem I have with it, James. Well, and here, and I guess the question is this: would you give up a first round pick plus, so a first rounder and a third, or a first and a fourth, or whatever, like so many people are suggesting? I've seen guys say you got to give up two first round picks, you got to give up a first and a second, you got to give up a first and a third. I have not seen anybody say all you got to do is give up a third like the Jets did for Devontae Adams. James, in my opinion, I understand we have a need now that Hutchinson is out. And oh my God, it'd be amazing next year if we had Crosby and Hutchinson. But I think we would be foolish to give away a premium pick with the way Brad Holmes has been drafting. We would be sacrificing the future for a guy that is paid now. And I get it, the Super Bowl window is now, but I think the Lions could potentially have a very large Super Bowl window. We need to be very smart about this. And I don't want the team to look desperate, man. We don't need this guy like that. Not enough to give up a first plus. Like, and I get it, it'll be a late first round pick, so it's maybe not the end of the world. But, some of the shit where I've seen them giving up two first round picks, I'm like, why? The Raiders just fucking shed Devontae Adams, one of the best wide receivers in the league, for a third round pick. I'll give him a second round for Max Crosby. That's the best I would do after seeing that shit, dude. Otherwise, I feel like we're fucking reaching and we're being desperate and we're giving away something that could maybe give us more in the future. What is your opinion here, bud?
Would I give up a 2025 first round pick for Max Crosby? No, I would not. Would I give up a 2026 first round pick for
Ooh,
Max
that's
Crosby?
interesting. Yeah, if you could go another year out, I'd be fine with that.
If you could go another year out, you're giving up 30, 31, 32 probably.
Yeah, and it's basically the equivalent
That's
of like a late second rounder this year, which I would
yeah,
be good with that.
exactly. So my answer depends on what year the first round pick. Like give up a third round this year and a first round next year?
Oh
Yes.
no, they're talking first round this year, and some of them are first round this year and first round next year. Some of them are first round this year and a second this year, or a first and a third this year, dude. It's fucking crazy some of the things that people are saying about this.
Right. If so I would give up that's what I would do. Like a
You
sec
do like
not
a
maybe a
third this
second.
year and a
Maybe
first the next year.
maybe even a second this year. Give up a second this year and a first next year.
Ah, that's too much for me, to be honest.
I
Well,
said maybe depends
I could
because
warm up
because
to that idea. I could
it's
warm
going to
up
be
to that idea, but I would still. I would only warm. What is his contract? Let's pull it up real quick because
all
I
right.
would
So
only warm up to that if we're going to have him for a few years.
he's under contract for the next 2 years.
No, I'm not giving up.
2026,
I'm not doing a second this year and a first next year if we only got 2 years out of him.
So with 2.5 years out of him, I'm just saying I would entertain that, and if that's what
Yeah,
it took, because
yeah.
if you have Hutch comes back 100% and you have Crosby and Hutch
Oh,
on
they
that
would be
field,
fucking
that's going to be
dynamite,
a
dude.
fucking
Yeah.
dynamite defense.
And they'd
The
both be
secondary is
Michigan
just going to
guys.
be
One Eastern, one Michigan.
secondary is going to be just 1 year better, and next year,
Oh,
like,
and way better when you're putting that kind of pressure on the quarterback.
mhm. so so what you're doing is you're giving up a little bit to shore up the defense this year,
Yeah.
and you're
So,
making your Super Bowl run
but
next
you're
year.
thinking for the future with that offer, a second this year and a
Yeah.
first next year. So it's steep, but you're basically saying you think we would have an elite defense by pulling off that move starting next year.
Starting next year, I think we would have a Super Bowl championship defense.
If that was the best offer, meaning you're not giving up more than that, I'd have to think about it. But I think I could maybe warm up to that because it's only a second this year and a first next year. So it's basically like you're giving up 2 second-round picks,
Mm-hmm.
and they're late second-round picks. Hypothetically, late second-round picks.
Yeah.
2 late second-round picks for Crosby when the fucking Jets gave up a third for Adams. Because that's my thing is I'm looking at the Raiders' mindset and I'm saying, don't let them take advantage of you when you just saw them fucking give away this fucking stud for nothing.
No. I would start it at 2 4th-round picks.
Yeah, start
Or
it
2
low
5th-round picks.
and just
Start
be
it
like,
somewhere around there.
hey, are you
And
fucking kidding me? You're shedding guys.
yeah,
If you're going to shed this guy, you might as well send him home.
right. Exactly. And I would start it there. I would definitely go all the way up to a third this year and a first next year. I would may or may not go to a second this year and a first next year. If you have to give up a second this year, then I would push for a second next year
Yeah.
instead. But I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
well,
as
you
upset
got
about
to negotiate and nickel and dime your way to get the right deal. I got you. Fuck, if we
it.
did
Yeah,
2 second rounds this year, next year, I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with that.
yeah. So I mean, it just depends on the timing of the pick. If it's this
Yeah,
year
and
a
that's
first round,
because you're saying we have a half a year with him this year and then 2 full seasons after this.
yes,
That's why I would be okay with this because yeah, that means the Super Bowl window hypothetically is still intact for this year plus the next 2 years.
yes,
That makes it a very good deal in my opinion.
yeah. And so like I said, it just depends on when the timing of the picks.
Yeah.
I would not under any circumstances give up a first round pick this year.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that. Don't do that, man. Don't do that because it looks desperate if you do that, in my opinion. And Holmes has been so fucking good at landing guys, man.
Mm-hmm.
I would not want to take something away from him. I mean, obviously he'd be the guy calling the shot anyhow, but you know what I mean.
Well, I would also then, based on, I would try to shop Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, I did see him as part of one of the deals. Is that maybe you send him Hendon Hooker because they're like such a disarray at quarterback, but I don't know what his value is right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I would like to see more in the preseason from Hendon Hooker
Yeah, he could have built it up a bit more. Yeah.
but I mean, and then I didn't really see when he played against Dallas, I didn't really see much from it because he wasn't really he threw like 3 or 4 balls.
Yeah, garbage time stuff, right? So
Yeah, garbage time stuff. Like Dallas was still playing their ones, but I wanted to look at that. Like I think he threw the ball. He threw the ball twice. He was 1 for 2 for 19 yards. The incompletion looked bad and it should have been an interception, but
that's okay. That's why you put him in at the end of the game like that, right? Because you know it's over.
mm-hmm. Fucking Goff, man, damn, another like stellar passer rating.
Yeah. He's on fire these last couple weeks, man.
Fuck.
I was a little nervous the way he started the year, dude, but he
I
has
was
been
too.
fucking ripping it up.
I don't know. I don't like the idea of a first this year. That's all I can
No,
say.
no, I think we agree on that. All right, bud. Well, hey, that's the question of the week. And so I'll make it abundantly clear to the people who are watching. It's the same as Name That Stadium. All you do is go to our channel on YouTube, and in the comments section for this video, you type in your answer to the question. And if you don't want to play, that's okay, but then you're oblivious to us, and that sucks because we want you to exist in our Gridiron Grinder world. But James, that's all I got, man. You got any closing thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, jokes, anything like that?
No, I don't think I do.
Okay. Well, hey, for anybody who is watching, we appreciate you. Appreciate you, motherfuckers. Big
Yes.
time.
Thank you for sticking around through the last hour and a half, I think.
Yeah. Hour 45. You probably already subscribed, but if you haven't already, please do.
And
Hit the
press and
thumbs
hit
up.
that like hit that like button.
Oh, shit, I'm getting silly. All right, you guys, have a good night. James, like always, man, it was fun.
All right, sounds good. Have a good one.
Gridiron Grinder. Hut, hut, hike.